last lesson in the unit, but it's a very important lesson because it ties together the discount, the tips, and now we're going to add the last piece of the puzzle, which is tax. So you pay tax on almost everything that you buy. Okay, and we're going to talk about what a tax is and how to calculate it. But as we go through these problems, we're going to start to add in discounts and tips and taxes all together. So you're going to see how it all comes together into real world situations. Okay, so your goal for today is I can determine the total cost after applying a discount, which we've done, a tip, which we've also done, and now a sales tax. Okay, so let's look at first our definition. So a sales tax is an additional amount of money charged on items that people buy by a local, state, or federal government. So some states have a sales tax, some states do not. The federal government has sales tax on some items, and local cities, for example, have sales tax on some items. Sales tax is money that is used for the benefit of the community. I think it was last year that Charlotte-Mecklenburg County tried to increase the sales tax to say that they would use some of that money to pay for schools. So it's used for different purposes around the community. All right, so here are your two formulas for calculating sales tax. So the first one is just like discount and tip. We're going to take the original price and multiply it times the tax rate. And the tax rate is going to be very different depending on what kind of problem we're looking at. And then, just like the tip, sales tax is money that we add on to the total cost. Okay? So when you hear taxes, that usually means you're paying more money. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with our first example. It's going to be very basic. Okay, find the sales tax of a $98 chair if the tax rate is 7%. Okay, so our chair is $98 times 7%. We move it back 2 spots, just like discount, just like tip. I put a 0 as a placeholder. So it's 98 times 0.07. Make sure you have your calculator handy so that you can do that calculation. And you should get 6.86. Okay? Now the question's not asking for the total cost, it's asking for the sales tax. So in this case, the sales tax on that chair is $6.86, and there's no need to round. Okay? All right, let's try another very basic example. A graphing calculator costs $90. The sales tax is 4.25%. What is the total cost of the calculator? So in the last example, it just asked us for the cost of the tax. Now it wants us to take us that next step further and find the total cost. So start with the original price, 90, times, okay, now be careful with this one, 4.25%. Move the decimal point back 2 spots. And put your 0 as a placeholder where you need it. So it's times 0.0425. Go ahead and calculate that. And you should get 3.825. Now that's what the sales tax would be if we were to stop and round, but we're not done. It wants us to calculate the total cost. Because tax is something being added on to your bill, we're going to add that number to the original bill. So 90 plus 3.825, go ahead and do that in your calculator. And you should get 93.825. Now because we're talking about money, we want to go ahead and make sure that we round this. So we're going to underline the hundredths place, draw our stick, circle the next number. The 5 tells us to go up, so we cross out the 2 and make it a 3. So your total cost with the sales tax is $93.83. All right, let's move on to example number 3. If the sales tax rate is 7.25% in California, then how much would you pay in Los Angeles for a pair of shoes that cost $39? Okay, so now it's talking about sales tax in a specific location, but it's not you don't necessarily need to keep that location in mind as long as it's telling you the sales tax rate. So what's your original cost? $39, so 39.00. Times, what's your tax rate? Well, 7.25%. Move the decimal point back 2 spots. Add your 0 as a placeholder. So times 0.0725. Go ahead and calculate that. And you're going to get 2.8275. Now, that's the sales tax, but it wants to know how much in total we're going to go ahead and pay. So it's important that we add that back to the original price, which is $39. So 39, and let me put my decimal point there. You don't need it, but just to be clear. So $39 plus 2.8275. Add those up. And you should get 41.8275. That's how much you would pay in total. Let's round it off. Underline the hundredths place, draw your stick, circle your next number. 7 tells you to round up, so we're going to cross out the 2, make it a 3. So your total price for those shoes with the tax in California is $41.83. All right, let's look at the next example. So we have example number 4. Which would you pay more for? A pack of paper towel for $6.99 at a tax rate of 8%, or a pack of toilet paper for $13.99 at a tax rate of 4%. So this is asking us which one would we pay more for. So we're going to be comparing. So I'm going to kind of draw a stick down the middle here so we can work with, I'm going to call this paper towel on one side. And I'll do toilet paper on the other side. Oops. All right, so let's calculate the paper towel first. So the original price is $6.99 and the tax rate is 8%. So my 8% here, and I move the decimal point back 2 spots. So it's going to be times 0.08. Go ahead and calculate that. And that's going to give us 0.5592. Add that back to the original price, so 6.99 plus 0.5592. All right, you're going to get 7.5492. I'm going to hold off on rounding until I see what the toilet paper is here, because sometimes if they're really close, sometimes we need to take it out another decimal point. So I'm going to hold off on rounding, but I'm going to sort of box this off as our almost final answer. Okay, let's do toilet paper. $13.99 times, now this is a smaller tax rate, 4%. So I'm going to take it back 2 spots, put my 0 as a placeholder, times 0.04. Go ahead and calculate that. And so you're going to get 0.5596. That's how much your tax is, but add it back to the original bill. So $13.99 plus 0.5596. So add that up. And you're going to get 14.5496. Now, How much are you going to pay more for? Paper towel or toilet paper? Well, 7 compared to 14, it looks like you're going to pay a lot more for toilet paper. All right, let's go ahead and try example number 5. Now I'm going to tell you before I even read example number 5, this is going to be a mix of discount, tax, and tip. And last lesson we only dealt with discount and tip. And I told you discount first, tip second. Now that we've added tax in, tax is actually going to squeeze in the middle of those two. So we're going to do discount first, tax second, tip third. And it's okay. It's just going to take us just one more step to solve the problem. Okay, your parents take you out for a birthday dinner with all your closest friends. The total bill is $91.30. They give the waiter a coupon for 10% off. The tax rate is 7%, and they leave a 20% gratuity. What do they pay in total? The big thing to remember, we are not going to round until the very end. So let me give myself some space here. All right, discount first. 91.30 times 10%. Take it back 2 spots. So times 0.10. Go ahead and calculate that. And that's going to give you 9.13. That's how much your discount is, okay? So 91.30 minus 9.13. Go ahead and calculate that. You should get 82.17. So that's your total bill with the discount. So check off your discount. We're done with that. Okay? Discount first, we're done. Now let's add the tax. So right now our total bill is 82.17. Our tax rate is 7%. So times, here's my 7%. Move it back 2 spots. Put the 0 here. So times 0.07. Go ahead and calculate that. And you're going to get 5.7519. So that's how much tax you're going to pay. But we need to add that back to the total price. So 82.17 plus 5.7519. Add those two up. And you're going to get 87.9219. That means we've taken care of our tax, and I'm going to put 2 check marks there. The last thing we have is our gratuity, which is 20%. So what's my new total? Remember, I have not rounded yet, okay? So 87.9219 times, what's my gratuity? 20%. Move it back 2 spots right there. So times 0.20. Go ahead and calculate that. You're going to get a large number. So it's going to be 17.58438. Now, because it's gratuity, we add it to the bill. So 87.9219 plus 17.58438. Add those guys together. And you're going to get 105.50628. Now go back up here. That means I've taken care of my gratuity. Now I'm done. I'm ready to round. So, hundredths place for money, draw my stick, circle the next number. The 6 tells us to go up, cross out the 0, make it a 1. Your total bill with discount, tax, and tip is $105.51. That was a big one. Good job. All right, let's look at our next example. Number 6. REI has a sale on the tent you want. The original price is $129.79. It's on sale for 35% off. When you get to the register, you learn the tax rate is 12.5%. What is the total cost of my tent? So I have a discount, I have a tax, but I have no tip. So I'm going to cross that out so you don't even have to think about it. All right, so discount first. 129.79 times, and I have my 35%. So I'm going to move my decimal point back 2 spots. So times 0.35. Go ahead and calculate that. That's going to be 45.4265. Okay? I'm not done, so don't round it. Now, because this is a discount, I subtract it from the cost. 129.79 minus 45.4265. Go ahead and work that out. And you should get 84.3635. Now, I've taken care of my discount. Now I need to calculate my tax. My tax is 12.5%. All right, so what's my new total? 84.3635 times, so my tax is 12.5%. I need to move that decimal point once and twice, so it's going to be times 0.125 equals you're going to get a huge number here. So it's going to equal 10.5454375. Holy moly. Okay, now because that is a tax, we add it on to the price. So 84.3635 plus 10.5454375. Add those up. You're going to get 94.9089375. Now, double check. We took care of our discount. We just took care of our tax. We're done and we're ready to round. So we go to the hundredths place, we draw our stick, we circle the next number. The 8 tells us to round up, cross out the 0, make it a 1. The total cost of the tent at REI after the discount and the tax is $94.91. All right. Let's try example number 7 here. So, Rachel pays $58 for her haircut and blow dry. She leaves the stylist a 17% tip and the tax rate is 9.25%. What is her total bill? So, we do not have a discount. So, I'm going to cross this out. So that means we're going to do tax first, tip second. You don't always go in the order that it gives you the information in the word problem. You need to follow the proper order, discount, tax, tip. But because there's no discount, we just go tax, tip. All right, so let's get started. $58 times, what's my tax? 9.25%. I need to move the decimal point back 2 spots, add my 0 as a placeholder. So times 0.0925. Go ahead and calculate that. And you're going to get 5.365. Now, because it's a tax, that's money added on to the bill. So 58 plus 5.365 equals. And you should get 63.365. So you've taken care of the tax, so check that off. Okay, now let's calculate the tip. So our new total is 63.365. Our tip is 17%, so times 17%, move the decimal point back 2 spots, so it's going to be times 0.17. Go ahead and calculate that. You're going to get 10.77205. So that's how much tip you're going to leave. But because tip is something added on to the bill, we're going to add it back to the cost. So 63.365 plus 10.77205. Add those together. You're going to get 74.13705. Just go back up, double check. We did the tip. We are done. Now let's round. So we underline the hundreds place, draw our stick, circle the next number. The 7 tells us to go up. That 3 becomes a 4. So the total cost after the tax and tip for your haircut is $74.14. Okay, let's move on to example number 8. Michaela went grocery shopping at Publix. Love Publix. She bought $45.60 worth of groceries. The tax rate is 7.5%. Separate from the bill, Michaela tips the associate $2 for walking her groceries to the car. What is the total Michaela pays? So this is a slightly different type. This is a slightly different type of problem. Well, we have a tip, but it says that it's separate from the bill. So it's not a tip rate. It's not a percentage. She just decided to take out $2 and tip the person who walked to her car. So we're actually going to add that on last, even though we would do the tip last anyway. So let's go ahead and calculate this with the tax rate. We do not have a discount, so I'm going to cross that out. So 45.60 times, now the tax rate is 7.5%. I'm going to move it back 2 decimal spots, add my 0 as a placeholder. So 0.075. Go ahead and calculate that. And you're going to get 3.42. So that's how much she's going to pay in taxes. Add it back to the original amount. 45. Let me make that look a little bit more like a 45. 45.60 plus 3.42. Add those together, and you're going to get 49.02. I took care of our tax. Now let's add the tip on. But the tip is not a percentage, it's just a dollar amount. So we're just going to simply add it on. So 49.02, not equals, plus $2 equals. So add the 2, and you're going to get a total of $51.02. and that is after tax and her $2 tip. Okay, let's look at example number 9. So, a dog walker charges $10 per visit. The Smith family hires a dog walker 4 times a week. They use a coupon for 15% off each visit. The tax rate in their city is 3.5%, and they give the dog walker a flat tip of $2 per visit. What do they pay each week? Okay, this is a complicated one. It's not hard, but we need to pick apart the pieces. So first, let's determine, without tax, tip, or discount, what they pay for one visit. Okay, it's $10. Now, they come 4 times a week. So, 10 times 4 equals $40 a week. Okay, so they spend $40 a week on a dog walker. But we need to factor in 15% off each visit, the tax rate for each visit, and the flat tip for each visit. So the best way to do this is to calculate how much it is for one visit and then multiply times 4 for 4 times a week. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So first, we have $10 per visit. We need to do discount first. So the discount is 15%. So $10 times, and over here I have my 15%, move my decimal back 2 spots, so times 0.15. Go ahead and calculate that. So 10 times 0.15, and that's going to give you 1.5. Okay, so that means that they save $1.50 for their coupon each visit. Now add that back to the cost, or sorry, subtract that from the cost because it's discount. So 10 minus 1.5 equals, and that's going to give you 8.5. So $8.50 so far. Now, I've taken care of my coupon, so I'm done with my discount. Now the tax. The tax rate in their city is 3.5%. So what's my new total? 8.5 times, and I need to do 3.5%, make it a decimal, move it back 2 spots, put a 0 as a placeholder. So times 0.035, go ahead and calculate that. And that's going to give you 0.2975. Now, because that's a tax, I need you to go back and add that on to the original cost. So 8.5 plus 0.2975. Go ahead and add that up. And you're going to get 8.7975. Okay? Scroll back up. I've taken care of my tax. Now I have my tip. Now the thing about the tip is it's not a rate. It's not a percentage. It's just a flat $2 per visit. So if I pay 8.7975 per visit plus $2, what is that going to be? It's going to be 10.7975. Now, that's how much they pay for one visit, but they come 4 times a week. So we need to take that number and multiply it times 4. We do not round yet because it's not our final answer. So 10.7975 times 4. So go ahead and multiply that, and you should get 43.19. So $43.19. And let's just go back. So we did our tip. And guess what? When we multiplied that out, we didn't even have to round it. So what do they pay per week? $43.19. And it's always a good idea once you think you have your final answer just to go back to the problem, especially one as complicated as this, and just make sure that you hit all the points. So we did 4 times a week, we did the coupon for 15%, we did the tax rate of 3.5%, and we did the $2 per visit. All right, so let's move on to number 10. So number 10 says to use the answer from number 9 to answer these questions. Okay, wait, let me go back to number 9. What was my answer? $43.19. So I'm going to write that right here so that I remember. Okay, and that's how much they paid in 1 week. And I'm going to write that as a reminder. So number 1 says, how much would the family pay each year? Well, if there's 52 weeks in 1 year, what would we do? We would take 43.19 times 52 weeks. So go ahead and put that in your calculator, see what you get. So you get $2,245.88. That's what the Smith family spends on a dog walker each year. So I'm going to put that little arrow right there. The second question is a little bit more complicated. How much did the discount save the family each week? I need to go back to number 9. Where is my discount? Well, I did my discount first. So my discount was 15%, meaning that I saved $1.50 per visit. So if I saved $1.50 per visit and they came 4 times a week, how much money did that save me? Well, $1.50 times 4 is going to be $6. So it saved the Smith family $6 a week to have that coupon. So coupons can go a long way because if you think about it over the course of a year, how much would that save them over the course of a year? All right. That is the end of this lesson, and it's also the end of the unit. As always, you can go back, rewind, fast forward, pause, and you can always ask me questions in class.